Welcome to the Shaman's Moon. This is how I'm looking at this. This is the moon of the shamans. This is the Aquarius full moon message. It activates gate 19 in human design, okay, with the shadow frequency of codependency. And we're all seeing that, especially because Venus in Leo is in retrograde, looking to bring a stop to certain parts of our identity, okay, that has literally one, placed authority outside of ourselves, two, been half committed in our relationships and business, love, and otherwise. There's a couple aspects to this full moon in Aquarius. It's happening at 9 degrees. This is a degree of Sagittarius. That means there's a lot of change, as well as a little emphasis on faith, being in the unknown, being blind, which really supports the fact that the North Node in Aries is activating gate 3. So check the video, which means chaos in the beginning. Okay, when we begin something brand new, we have this chasm, this big ass gap of everybody in the world collectively does not know what the hell's going on. They just know that there's a big shift. They feel it. And this feeling is coming with this conclusion, this closure of this full moon in Aquarius at 9 degrees. Because when we start working to these gift frequencies in Aquarius, we start getting to the place in the gift of sensitivity. And we become sensitive to narratives around dependency on others outside of ourselves, okay, where we easily can be destructive and sabotage ourselves or even the other by looking to feed each other's weaknesses, okay. This is where we really get trapped in codependency. It's like, okay, look, like this is a weakness of mine, you fill that gap. Oh, this is a weakness of yours, I'll fill that gap. And it doesn't work. And what happens is more and more people are becoming conscious because Venus in Leo has already passed, which it will retrograde back to. Okay, gate 33. And I talked about this on my channel, so check it out. Gate 33. Venus in Leo, one of my first earlier videos. And the last Venus in Leo video I did was in gate 29, which is where it stopped and began going in retrograde. So looking to get us to a deeper sense of devotion. But what we need to understand about what programs this partner of Aquarius, okay, the full moon in Aquarius happened at 9 degrees, opposite Leo Sun at 9 degrees. What's programming this is the fact that we have forgot about the internal authority within ourselves, okay? Whether we looked at God, whether we looked at whoever, nature, animals, it doesn't matter. All those guidances, including nature, including animals outside of ourselves, it puts us in a place of disempowerment. And the fact that we have Mercury during this transit of the full moon in Aquarius, the fact that Mercury is opposite Saturn, we're going to have a lot of tension because, first off, Mercury in Virgo is very fast, and Saturn in Pisces is like trying to find its grip, but it's really all over the place, okay? You can't sense anything from the physical realm like this Earth sign Virgo wants. And so this can really look at like, okay, look at the disappointments you've had with your father. Look at the misunderstandings you have with your father or somebody who has been an authority figure at a fatherly position. Look at how you have had certain suspicions. You have had just felt in a sense mentally overwhelmed by what you can't see, by a certain sense of suffering that can't be identified. This full moon is trying to really bring illumination into the fact that, okay, hey, look, some of those early childhood programmings has actually been responsible for some of these South Node Scorpio things that were coming back up right now. And so I'm gonna look at my list. We have being attracted to crisis, okay, because right before the full moon we're going to go through the moon in Scorpio, so we have to understand there's a cycle, it plays itself out. We have we're attracted to crisis, we're being impatient, we're being overly nosy, literally just in other people's business, expressing a certain sense of inappropriate intensity in our relationships and to maintain the codependency, right? We're recognizing that we have very judgmental tendencies, being resistant to other people's needs. Like, I know what you want, but I don't want to give it to you. I want to withhold. It's a toxic feminine trait of Scorpio. Okay, really focusing on overreactions, destruction and elimination. So instead of like destroying one part of something that is out of alignment, it's like taking the whole thing and ripping the whole entire relationship up and out. And with Aquarius for moon, this can equate to a lot of people running away, okay, who will try to put themselves in this mentally superior position where I'm not running, I'm doing what's healthy for me or whatever, and then they repeat the habit and they repeat the behavior and they repeat the relationship, and they're like, well, why did I repeat that? And people at the unconscious level that stay in this unconscious frequency of forgetting who they are, as well as being codependent, okay, and being really half-hearted in their dynamics and relationships, this will keep repeating and they won't know. But the larger collective right now is actually becoming very sensitive to the needs of others because they found a certain sense of independence. And as we've learned to become more independent, we're realizing, oh snap, I've achieved a certain emotional independence for myself, and because of that, I have to understand my emotions, and my emotions are telling me, wow, these fears are really rising about how I've abused power, of how I've had obsessive thoughts, right? How I've overreacted in relationships, had a certain sense of intensity that's just, honestly, God, it doesn't match the situation. It's like I'm intensely giving you death stare like this, but in reality, like all you did was like you accidentally spilled my milk. It's like I don't deserve to die for that. Like it was an accident, right? And so we're recognizing that some of this is happening because of the things that we have not been able to see, and because of suspicion that has been developed and created from a father figure. That's what a little bit of that Saturn opposite Mercury is telling. Now, what's bigger is I came out here so blasted. Hold on. Let me back up. All right. Check out the retreat, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be able to dissect, digest all of this, this is the moon of the shamans, and I'm your astro shaman Pernell Bobby. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design and genetic astrology. All right. This is the moon of the shamans, and I want you to definitely check out this retreat. If you have not applied, apply. Like I said, we're putting down, I think in a couple of days when I meet this lady soon. Oh my God, like right at the freaking full moon, which Aquarius full moon, it does bring accolades, rewards. It does show you really like your gains even above Capricorn, where you get ready to kind of sacrifice them and give them actually back out to others and support the right groups and the right people and the right organizations, astrologers, literally astrology, different high sciences, stuff like that. So definitely check out the retreat. If you have not applied, go ahead and just take the moment to apply, especially if you feel it calling. If you don't feel it calling to your soul, really, I don't want you to apply just because, okay? But if you feel like, man, I've been waiting for something like this, I've been waiting for somebody I respect that, because if you don't respect me or Eileen, don't come, okay? Don't apply. But if you feel like you have a deep respect, a reverence for us and what we're doing in the world, definitely take that time to apply, and then you'll have a one-on-one with myself and then a one-on-one with Eileen. That's how we're doing it. You're meeting both of us individually. This is part of Guadalajara. This is where we are. So I usually don't ever, they turn the fountain off, they're like, we're budget cuts. I don't actually usually ever do show people outside, but whatever. um, so we're with, that's the whole south node in Scorpio, right? But it's asking us ultimately to get closer to forgiveness. Okay, really realizing that, like, okay, some bad things have happened. Um, Following your nervous system in a space of comfort. The reason why this is about the nervous system, following comfort, about aligning with Mother Nature for higher and deeper cosmic downloads, where you more internally gather the information from yourself, where you gain a sense of self, when you respect your own needs, you validate your needs and other people's needs. That's the key. You don't just validate your needs on this full moon, you validate other people's needs, because Aquarius is sensitive. It's sensitive as hell. Matter of fact, so sensitive they don't even want to touch you. Okay, Aquarians hate physical intimacy. They hate physical contact, especially when you're energetically out of alignment, because they are sensitive to this as a part of Uranus. And the fact that the ruler of Aquarius is in Taurus, this sensitivity is on our physical body. Okay, we physically can feel it. So what I'm saying is if you know something is energetically out of line and you try to have sex with somebody from a hedonistic standpoint, ooh, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. Don't do it. Okay, don't fake intimacy from the physical touch level. Aquarius is the one where on this full moon you're likely coming to the understanding and closure that, like, look, physical intimacy matters to me. It matters so much that I'm not gonna touch people. I don't care. I'm not gonna hug a cousin or uncle that, you know, no. Okay, I don't care. Right? So that's the separate part. But you're really recognizing your boundary. You're recognizing your awareness, and most importantly, you're changing your viewpoints on this full moon in Aquarius. You're changing your viewpoints of what God is. Who's God? I didn't even know I had my hood on. Who's God? How can you be loyal to your own belief system? How can you stop being so dogmatic and be willing to realize that, what you thought you knew, you no longer knew. It's kind of like the Russian dolls of consciousness. Like, you open one Russian doll, you open another one, you open another one, and it seems endless. And this is how consciousness really works. So, like, the thing I hear all the time in my, you see the face, you see the rolling of my eyes. The thing I hear all the time in my line of work is, I've done the work, I've done the work, I've done the work. The moment I hear that, I'm like, this person hasn't done nearly as much as they think they have, because it's like the Russian dolls of consciousness. Okay, it's like, yo, like, Earth is Earth. Okay, this Aquarius full moon is in gate 19, and this has a certain sensitivity to angelic realms and devic realms. Okay, devic frequencies. This also counts demons, so do be mindful of that. Like, this does count demons. Like, especially if you're drinking alcohol, it's a spirit, the spirit of tequila, the spirit of whiskey, the spirit of wine. Okay, especially if you're drinking, it's more easily access to the devic realms or the hell realms. Sugar, another one. I brought a sweet the other day, and there was like a freaking eruption, and I was like, you know what? Here come the Mexicans. Just kidding. No, I'm not kidding, but it's funny. I'm having a fun moment right now. All right. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, ladies and gentlemen, on this full moon Aquarius message. So, do be mindful. You can just as easily access these higher realms, the realms of high consciousness, which Uranus really wants and prefers that you do. But on this full moon, the whole thing is, one, the lowest levels, you have to really realize that God is inside of you. Okay, your internal authority is inside of you. The big danger with the fact that Uranus is owning Aquarius on this full moon is that Uranus squares Lilith. Lilith squares Uranus exactly at 22 degrees, and we talked about this. This is the degree of homicide. Like I said, this doesn't have to mean you have to physically kill somebody, but it can. Usually, it means you have that level of violent energy running through you, because this is about a genetic savagery type energy. This is like literally genetic savagery. We did this recently in my membership. We talked about it when we talked about Saturn. Saturn, Capricorn energy, has a genetic savagery to it. All right, where the psychosis that we've been undergoing as a mass collective consciousness about believing in things, just too many things outside of it's crashing at gate 60. Okay, these limitations and these restrictions and this rigid reality and society we live in that does not honor, prioritize, or even respect the fact that, oh yeah, I can reach devic realms, I can reach angelic realms that are above human understanding and consciousness. This Mercury squaring opposition to Saturn, Saturn being these high governing bodies that says, I have control and rule over what you think, I literally control your hive mind. Virgo is like, yeah, but the fact says that the facts of Pisces is that actually I'm not even a physical tangible source that you can touch, which means you can't even physically control my mind. Part of the reality that Mercury and Virgo can realize in opposition, that might not come easily understand what I just said, because Virgo is still an earth sign, is a sign of reality where, depending on who you are, what I just said might have completely went over your head. Or if you're on this channel, you're probably more like, nah, it didn't go over my head. That made total sense, because, hello, that's why you want to come to retreat, because you want to be around other people like that. And I'm doing the best I can to make sure I filter the channel where, if you ain't talking that language, this is the whole, listen, when you get back to gate 19, on this codependency. Part of codependency is about when two people don't honor the fact that they have a core identity, and they ignore their core identity, and they essentially sacrifice their core identity, their who they are at the center of their being. They sacrifice that. And a lot of times this happens because of some basic material needs, like, oh, I need to live with this person, so we got to pay rent together, or we have a kid together, or whatever. There's like these like earthly, like, root chakra needs, the mulahara. And when that happens, it's like, and that codependency comes where it's like, I can't be myself and they can't be themselves. That doesn't work. Okay, you want to get to a place of interdependence where you begin to interdependently depend on the divine. Okay, the cosmos. When you get into a divine relationship with the cosmos, and when your partner can meet and match that, that's what this full moon really, really wants us to do. Because when we can do that, Now we're sensitive to not just our needs, but the needs of others. But again, remember, the moment you become sensitive and mindful of this is the moment that it gets so much harder, because now you recognize the years and the decades that you have been codependent, the years and the decades that you have been inappropriate with your intensity. You have been unable to forgive and really drawn towards crisis, and staying in those toxic ass relationships where you want to go ahead, go back, you want to put your little pork back inside that oven, or you get the point, right? Don't put the pork in the oven. Don't put the pork in the oven, but hit the thumbs up and the like button, and definitely apply it as a treat if you're feeling called to it. Wink, wink. All right. Um, this full moon is buck the wow. It seems like it's not maybe on the surface, but I'm telling you, it's buck the wow, because it's truly the setup to the new moon that's coming in Leo, okay, and the Cancer new moon that just passed 6 months from now. This is the kind of thing where like the what creates mutations like this is when a gene copies itself. But when it happens enough, the biggest thing that's going on with this right now is when it copies itself enough, what happens is we begin to change, and this has to happen at a collective manner where parents are no longer raising their children. And this is a little bit of Gate 50. I kind of talked about it from the Libra perspective with tribal energy, tribal mentalities. This is why this is the moon of the shamans, okay? Um, when you look at it like this, shamans, what are they doing? They are channeling from these devic realms, these angelic realms that I spoke about. They're channeling from your ancestors or your tribe's spirit. They're behind the spirit of your tribe. And then what they do is they bring that information into the physical world, into this earthly realm, this earthly reality, and shamans are able to be mediators, so they can literally recognize. I'm speaking about this for myself right now. I can recognize the parallel realities, like things that can't be physically seen or there, but they can be sensed, and we can realize, okay, what is Pernell doing in this alternate reality? What is Pernell doing in this high state where he doesn't have a physical body? He's just some sense of consciousness, because it doesn't even have a form. So I can't even say a form of consciousness, because it's more like Atlantis where they don't have form, right? Um, this is where uh, you can really struggle at a mental level of letting go of the facts of what seems like it's reality with Virgo and Mercury in exact opposition at 5 degrees, which means we're really attached to our earthly ego. This is a part of it. We have to learn how to humble our ego, humble our intellect, to the point where we realize like there are things beyond intellect, and Pisces and Saturn is trying to help reveal that to us, but we need to take the time to put form. Okay, we have to take the time to put form to what's formless. And this is what Saturn does. And so it's going to take a year and a half. I think Saturn takes a year and a half or 2 years. I get confused. A year and a half to 2.5 years. Something in that middle max, right? It's going to take that time for us to put form to this. So Mercury wants to move fast, Saturn wants to move slow, and Saturn is just, I don't even, I'm going to say it's bigger in the moment. I don't know if that's really true or not. We have to take the time right now to do the inner shadow work. This Uranus, okay, on this full moon, this Uranus, who owns the moon, which is in Taurus, it can heal you at a deep internal level, or it can literally destroy you. Because first off, Taurus and Leo already square, and Lilith had 22 degrees. That homicidal energy, we must find a way to direct that. And Uranus in Taurus is at 22 degrees. Okay, this can heal or destroy. It really is it's an iconic energy. Let me peep something real quick. Let me peep something real quick, because I feel like this is important enough. Oh, Lilith square Uranus. These are the top results. All right. Okay. Boom. Let me get a quick. Okay. Are you proficient in handling fire? These aspects together will push our edge and reveal the truth of ourselves. Okay, to ourselves. But can you handle the truth? These two energies are a force of nature. Emotionally, spiritually, mentally, only the strong will survive. Okay, it can break us free from the conditioning and the programs of our minds. Like I said, Mercury and Virgo, but also has the power to destroy us. And this is that energy right now on this full moon in Aquarius. So honestly, do be mindful of it. I see 19 minutes on screen at a 9. Oh my God, that means I hit the message. That means everybody got the message. So that said, hit the thumbs up, the likes button. Okay, for all these aspects. Uh, Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. Do subscribe to the retreat. All right, with Eileen, the Mexican Brewer, and myself, you'll meet both of us individually, one on one. This is the message I got for you. God was like, that's enough. So I am done. I'll see you soon. Love.